True crime documentary script. She crashed into the snow, then vanished without a trace. It was February 9th, 2004, a cold winter evening in northern New Hampshire. Snow covered the roads, the trees, and the silence itself. Visibility was low and temperatures had dropped well below freezing. On a quiet stretch of Route 112, something unusual happened. A black Saturn SL-1 lost control and crashed into a snowbank. No high-speed chase, no dramatic collision with another car, just a single vehicle sliding off the road into the frozen darkness. Inside that car was a 21-year-old nursing student named Maura Murray, and within minutes she would disappear forever. Well, but to understand what happened that night, we have to go back a few days, because Maura's story didn't start on Route 112. It started on a college campus in Massachusetts. Part 1. The Buildup. In early February 2004, Maura Murray was studying nursing at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. To those who knew her, she was intelligent, quiet, and driven, a student with a future in healthcare. But something was changing in her life. On February 5th, she was involved in a minor car accident on campus. She hit a guardrail. No injuries, no major damage. But emotionally, it seemed to affect her more than expected. In the days that followed, her behavior began to shift. She suddenly emailed her professors, claiming there had been a death in her family. However, investigators later confirmed that no such death occurred. She withdrew most of her money from her bank account. She packed her belongings. She left campus without a clear explanation, and she began searching for directions to places in New Hampshire and Vermont. Not one destination, multiple, as if she was trying to decide where to go or escape from something she couldn't fully define. On the night of February 5th, she even rented a hotel room near campus. She spent several hours alone there. No one knows exactly what happened during that time, but by the time she left, something had clearly changed. Part 2. The Journey North. On February 9th, Maura left her university campus. She drove north, toward New Hampshire, toward the White Mountains region. No one she knew had a clear idea where she was going. No confirmed meeting, no destination plan, no itinerary, just a young woman driving alone into a winter storm. Hours passed. Snow began to fall harder. Roads became more dangerous. And then, around 7:27 p.m., everything changed. Part 3. The crash on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire. Maura's car left the road. It slid into a snowbank. A passing school bus driver saw the scene. He stopped immediately. When he approached, he saw Maura outside her car, standing in the cold, alive, shaken, but not visibly injured. He later told police she seemed strangely calm. He offered help. He asked if she wanted him to call police, but Maura refused. She told him she already had roadside assistance on the way. That detail would later become one of the most confusing parts of the entire case, because no such call for help has ever been confirmed. The bus driver left, but something about the situation didn't feel right. So he called 911, and within minutes, police were on their way. Part 4. The 10-minute window police arrived roughly 10 minutes after the crash report. They expected to find a driver waiting for help. Instead, they found an empty scene. The car was still there. Engine off, airbags deployed, driver's door open. But Maura Murray was gone. No footprints leading clearly into the woods. No witnesses on the road. No sound of a struggle. Just silence. Inside the car, investigators found her belongings, her backpack, books from her nursing program, clothing, and alcohol purchased shortly before the crash. Nothing suggested where she went or why. Search teams were quickly deployed. Dogs were brought in to track her scent. They followed it for a short distance along the road, then stopped. The trail simply ended, as if she had stepped out of reality itself. Part 5. The Investigation. In the days and weeks that followed, investigators tried to reconstruct Maura Murray's final movements. But the more they looked, the more questions appeared. Why did she leave campus so suddenly? Why did she lie about a family death? Why did she withdraw her money? Why drive north alone into freezing weather? And most importantly, why was there no trace of her after the crash? Three main theories emerged. Theory 1. Voluntary disappearance. Some believe Maura intended to start a new life. She had packed belongings. She had withdrawn money. She had left without telling anyone. But critics of this theory point out one major issue: survival. She disappeared in freezing temperatures in a remote rural area without confirmed supplies or a plan, and she has never used her phone or bank account since. Theory 2. Accident in the wilderness. Another theory suggests she walked into the surrounding woods. In winter conditions, even a short distance off-road can become disorienting. Snow, darkness, and cold can quickly become deadly. She could have suffered exposure, or fallen, or become lost. But extensive searches found no remains, no clothing, no physical evidence confirming this outcome. For theory 3. Abduction. Some investigators believe she may have encountered someone on the road, a passing driver, or someone who arrived shortly after the crash. But there were no confirmed witnesses. No vehicle was definitively linked to the scene, and no forensic evidence supports this theory either. Part 6. The Unsolved Mystery. As years passed, the case became one of the most discussed missing person mysteries in the United States. Online communities formed dedicated to solving it. Maps were analyzed, timelines reconstructed, every possible lead examined, yet nothing conclusive was ever found. No body, no confirmed sighting, no final answer. Conclusion. Today, more than 20 years later, the disappearance of Maura Murray remains unsolved. It remains one of those rare cases where the timeline is clear, but the outcome is not. We know where she was. We know what her last confirmed moments were. We know when she disappeared, but we still don't know why or how. A crash on a snowy road, a 10-minute gap, and a life that simply vanished. What happened to Maura Murray? That question remains unanswered.